I'm tired. I was trying to trying to look at like the free hideouts. I didn't realize there were so many. Some of which I thought were MTX hideouts. Is there how goes the round so far? The other crew wake up, they start going turbo crazy. Do my daily pull on Olivia. Fudge. Mandrake. Our summon Mandrake. Got a 400 million lead. Goodness. Oh, great. I think we're like, oh, well, our scores aren't too high. I think the opponents are like 100 mil ahead of us, but neither of us are over the 300. A Runtinger that's been, bro. Runtinger that's going the distance. That is a terrifying sentence. Yeah, I could tell the scores from between like the sumo. Well, actually, well, between sumo and like some of the sumo setups I'd seen, and then fronting with the Medusa weapon, I was like, the scores for this one are gonna be so. I wonder if maybe that's why we didn't get the second skin. Because they knew that this one would be really high after adding amplify normal attack damage with runting being a thing. This is bad. You finally fall down the gotcha rabbit hole. You're on a Valorant. I'm going to this on you, Jimbo. On God, on principle. Never thought you'd be back, and never should have fucking reinstalled the game. Never should have just deleted your Riot account. I'm actually offended. No, I don't care. I raised you better than this, Jimbo. You have brought a dishonor to our cow, dishonor to our family. My turquoise. 5 stacking with could have been 5 stacking with friends in PoE. Holy, that I didn't think that would hurt that badly because it's not like the boss fight. I was wrong. I was very wrong. I kind of want to fuck around and make a lightning archmage, but I keep getting everything but unique turquoise amulets, which mildly annoys me. Also, it's kind of funny because earlier in the day stream, I got annoyed because I got texted like halfway through the stream to get a package off the porch, which, ironically enough, I was supposed to have been texted like 2 hours prior to that to get it because it had arrived earlier. And then it wasn't a while later until like my old man was supposed to text me, but apparently he texted the mom, who, well, they're on the trip together, so a little hard to, have her pick up the package off the porch. Jeez. So that's why I got big stops. I had to like go what should we call it? Go downstairs midstream. Really. Well, I should have been able to take care of it like at the beginning of stream. But I got barbecue out of it, so that's fine. Also, depending on if I have time this weekend, there's probably going to be a Star Rail stream because I was watching Yuna use the new character. And while she has no muscles, she basically has just about everything else I like in a character. So I have like 14,000 Stellar Jade saved up there. So between that and all the content that I haven't done and story events and all that jazz, I should be able to guarantee getting her. Oh my goodness. Making those I have to build her. Yeah, I kind of want to do an Archmage, a Lightning Archmage build. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll just turn it into the Frostbolt one. But I kind of want to see if I can find a Lightning spell that I like and then just use that. Alright, so let's see what we find first. Will we find the hideout that can spawn here on this map? Or will we find the nameless seer first? I guess we'll find out sometime this week, hopefully. Random though, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to be ping-ponging between this and Residence, and then it's always going to spawn on Residence, and I'm just never going to get the one for this version. Why can that be catalyzing one? Moj. I should buy breach stones again to run. So that way I can 1 second. Do something with pants. We do the easy thing, turning them inside. Just shake. Perks of being a V2. Don't have to worry about a camera. Also, this is for like 4 days, where it would be like cool during the morning, a little kind of warm during the day, cool during the night, and then now it's just hot. So we have a storm that's supposed to be through towards the end of the week. That'll maybe cool things down again. I keep forgetting it. Oh, we should keep this. I think they're both 27% now. 27%, 84, 84. Yeah, there's no thinking about. Oh, we don't get. They should be back soon. How old did? I wasn't gonna run map today, but I really want to try to get a Bandit Lord to spawn. We have to check how many horse katanas I need to finish like fully uncapping this. I think I only need one more. Yes. Probably not going to puzzle. I'll probably keep doing it for like another handful of maps because it's like 20 chisels per. So probably another like 4 batches. Basically, when I get close to 100, I'll stop chiseling. Really just trying to see if I can get the ungoal. Oh. The worst comes to worst, I'll just go back to I'll unspec the thing and just go back to running it normal. As I can definitely tell that it's like kind of killing my scattering report generation, which is a bit of a problem. Because the less scattering reports that drop, the less chance I have at getting a comprehensive. Granted, to be fair, I say this with my recent luck. I guess I used up a lot of my comprehensive scouting report luck that one night where we got like 4 of them. Womp womp. Womp womp. Oh shit. Might be a problem. I am not chaos kept. I just have to be ready to kind of frost blank away. Like I was trying to blink away from it, and I just blinked, like frost blinked straight into where the pack spawned. It's opposite. The problem is I have the chaos one, and it wasn't even for a good thing either. If it had been for whatchamacallit, for like the quality, sure, but it wasn't. That's for something about diff cards. I think I'm gonna do like this last like full batch of scarabs with it, which is another pack of 5 maps, and then I'm probably just gonna unspec it and then just leave it up to RNG on whether or not it'll give me the angle again. At this point, I'm kind of really just hoping that the Nameless Seer will give me one, because he tends to have a pretty high chance for tier 3 uniques. But yeah, I'm not like I'm getting that itch where like I like this build is nice and I like playing it, but I'm getting the itch where I just want to play like something different, right? And like the Eviscerate Gladiator wasn't too bad though. I'm kind of tempted to change it from Eviscerate to like Lacerate of Hemorrhaging, but I'd have to get a Lacerate of Hemorrhaging first, and I'm a little too lazy to run lab that many times. And so I'm like half tempted to do an Archmage build. Also, we got really lucky that map. If it had spawned one of the packs that attacks really quickly, we would have been kind of fucked. We were also lucky because it didn't have the crit one on it. Every time I've taken the chaos one on accident, it'll always be when there's like a crit uh roll on the map, which is why I'll tend to just get deleted. Because especially after losing an amethyst ring, I lost a lot of chaos resistance. But I think I'm gonna run the cortexes that I have after this. Like after doing like the all 10 run. So I'm just gonna swap over to Eviscerate and let it do its thing. Because Eviscerate's just comfy for oh no. I was like, wait, wasn't it the general? No. Oh my god. With the rarity, they didn't even drop timeless shark. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just drop out of it. Drop out of it, flip the altars over to Eater. And just hopefully let that carry me. Actually, we'll try Cortex on this dude. He'll probably die if I do it because of the degen, but I want to see how it feels to run him against a boss. Oh, Bringer of Pain, I think. Something like that. That's fine. I wasn't mentioned that I don't know. I don't remember if we got an altar this one yet, and then I looked over and I saw that I did have a altar. Oh, not what I wanted. Wait, maybe they're in here. Oh, game crashed. Pretty sure. Yep. Hey, it's been a while since I've had PoE just crash out of nowhere like that. Been a minute since that last happened. Well, at least it didn't happen in the middle of a fight. They give me another death and take all my fucking XP. That's happened already, like twice this season. Yeah, the bringer of rain. Yeah, it's. I thought so. I was like, I felt like it was tier 3. No, it couldn't drop as a turquoise amulet to give me my uncles. No, no, no. Had to drop as one of those thingies to give me a dang bastard. I've gotten a fair number of tier 3 uniques. It's just they're not the ones I need. So since they aren't the ones I need, they kind of don't mean shit to me. And the only part that sucks is I now have to run the entire map without the layout covered. Like, that's what usually happens whenever I crash in a map. Yeah, like everything in here will be dead, but the layout won't be discovered. I really hope it doesn't crash again. That would actually be really annoying if it just keeps crashing. I'm telling you, Path of Exile is like one of the only games I just don't understand how it'll run perfectly fine for like a week and then out of nowhere just shit the bed with no changes to anything on your part. Like now the performance is like extremely bad for some godforsaken reason. This thing blocks attacks, or else it would be dead by now. Like, what is going on, bro? My FPS is in the dumps. Latency is fine, at least. It feels more like a hiccup more than anything. It's just so weird. Like I've had these issues in other games. I've never had it be so consistently a problem in any other game like it is in PoE, which is why I'm like 50% annoyed and 50% just fascinated by how they can make a game like Engine that's just how it is. Right? Like it's such a consistent problem that to be honest, like part of me is just impressed that it's such a consistent problem. I got bitten by like a bug or something. I don't know when and I don't know how. It doesn't really itch. It's just like the little nub is just there. You know the bump when you get bitten. It's just there. It doesn't get itchy, but then I like not necessarily like scratch my arm, but you know how you just like move your hand across your arm and then I'll like feel it and I'll just be like, oh right, bug a bite. Why does it keep being a gate amulet? But I'd be that's fine. I'm not mad. I clicked Frostblink like 3 times and it didn't go off because my game like. And so then I died because I just stood in everything. Yay. Yay. And I just lost all my XP. I'd be like halfway to 98 if I hadn't, you know, I hadn't been dying so much. To be fair, I've been caring a lot less. Ever since I got to 98, I just don't care. I'm never making it to 100. You have to play like so safe or so boring to make it to 100, unless you're on like a really cracked out build. I feel. I guess like not necessarily safe, but since they nerfed the shrine way, it's I'm kind of sad they took away the scarab for the shrine EXP. That was kind of nice. I used it a little bit. I would use it to get like new characters to like level 85 to 90, depending on what I needed for the character, and then I would just run them regular. I don't know why sometimes it just spawns the ads without activating the tree, but I'm not gonna complain. It's a free full tree. To be fair, I think that's how it should just work, the petrified ember. But it's okay. I've harped on that enough. Dangerous shrines in the game for the enemy to have. Actually, it might literally be the most dangerous shrine in the game for the enemy to have. Affecting them. Oh, that was also the other bad part about the lantern for Necropolis. Was that if you used a bunch of scarabs and then you got like a modifier on mobs that was a problem and you couldn't do anything about it, you could, you ran the risk of just losing out on all the scarabs. Hey, nameless here, we're done. We didn't get the hideout though, Sedge. That's fine. Wouldn't have really used it anyway. What does he have? Right. Do I want it? I'll do Ashenwood. I was thinking about moving it to Academy, but I hadn't like ran Academy, or it's been a while, so I don't remember what Academy is like. Um, Gold's Bridal. I think Death's Oath is worth a decent amount of dust. Trying to check. I don't know. Oh, that's a tier 3. 3 That stuff is also tier 3. I don't think anything else in here is like. Oh, it's the magnet. Do I want that? It is tier 2, so even if I don't use it, it's what we're taking. I'm pretty sure nothing else in there is as highly valued. I'm pretty sure I don't like Academy if I remember correctly. I've definitely ran Academy a couple times when I was trying to like see whether Ashen Woods was like the play. Yeah, the Magnate, I kind of want to use it. Oh, we're like 50 straight. I have the second effect. I'll hold on to it. All right, so going to residence for Academy, then terrace for B. And then we're gonna, I think I have some academies left. I don't know if I kind of just yeeted them into the void. We have 2. I just I just finished yeeting all of them into my mappers. That's fine. Draw that one. Draw both of them. And then I'm just gonna flip my tree, at least for the dang it, Exarch stuff. What you did? I think it's what, like 15? 5, 7, 11, 15. Yeah, 15 points. We're gonna leave that point there. Because we'll need it later for ritual. Because realistically speaking, like these altars should be better for us. And it lines up perfectly because we just got the full Searing Exarch progress. So it's actually kind of funny how that lined up, really. Like actually that's kind of nice. I want to do some academies just because of trying to get oh yeah, no, academy I don't. I just want to see if I can get a fortress out of this. I just want to have like an extra fortress or two to run. Oh, was maybe my frostblink on cooldown when I was? That might have been. I might have either had it on cooldown or been out of mana. Yeah, this is a shitty map for for what should we call it for delivery. The only downside to not running Searing Exarch is well, it's a pretty sizable one. I don't get cartographer chisels and chaos orbs, in my opinion, as someone who's relatively self-sufficient when it comes to that sort of stuff. I just have to make abundantly sure that it doesn't have the endurance charge stuff. Not abundantly. Why am I abundantly? I just have to make like extremely sure that it doesn't have the reduced regen per or recovery. That's the actual fucked part. It's recovery. It's not regen. If it was just regen, then you know you just really wouldn't care. But for recovery, it's like reduced recovery per endurance charge. Yeah, I'd be fucked because you can't leech. You can't do anything. You can't recover at all whatsoever. See, this is like look at this. Look at this. All right, so this is Academy. Why? Why? Why does it not connect here or here? Like this is like I find this so funny where Diablo 4 got called out for this like really badly, but then PoE kind of just gets away with it. Probably because it's just been that way forever. But like they'll make these like layouts where it's just two dead ends that just go in different directions. And it's like, why? Just put a fucking like link somewhere. I mean, I know it's not like this that easy because they'd have to go and then do all the stuff because it's partially randomly generated with a tile set and everything. But like, I always found it really weird how because like I was seeing PoE players like criticizing Diablo 4 because a lot of their dungeons had that sort of thing where it was just like dead ends and you have to just backtrack and whatever, which is why Diablo 4 changed how their dungeons were designed to be more of like, well, they kind of like at least loop back towards a main path kind of deal. But, and I'm just sitting here like looking at like, because I was seeing it on the PoE Reddit where people were criticizing it, and I was just like, y'all do know that PoE has it too, right? If not, like, worse. I think people just forget because with the Atlas, right, you just most, like, everybody kind of already knows what maps to run, like, or that are most efficient for running. And so everybody just runs those maps. So I feel like they just forget. Because like Academy wouldn't be terrible if I could just, you know, run it, you know, in that little circle, right? Just keep going through, kind of deal. Wouldn't really be that big of a problem, but there's a couple of maps that are like this. I feel like Academy might be the worst defender of them all, realistically speaking, that I've had to deal with in a long while. Right, you had at least like 3 different ways you could have, well, technically 4, right? You could have connected it here, 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 here. Technically, like here. Like, you had plenty of places to connect a hallway some way, some form. I don't know. I'm very low on. I don't like quote unquote realistic layouts and stuff like that. Because realistic layouts are annoying as fuck when you have to do something over and over again. I'm not even gonna attempt. I know this one has like a pack of mobs at the end, but it definitely doesn't have like 50 mobs. Pretty sure at least. Yeah, there's still more than 50 mobs somewhere, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to go find them. I just can't be bothered. I'm here. I'm honestly just here predominantly to see if I can get another fortress, just to have it on hand. I was like, because I don't think you can. I was just double checking. I was pretty sure that the answer was no, but never hurts to make sure. Yeah, I can already tell I detest. And to be fair, I'm not very like I don't have very high standards for maps, right? Like I think Caldera is nice, personally. Because like they did a really good job with it, right? You have the 2 split paths, but you have a portal at both the beginning and at the end. So that means it's really easy to make it back when you're done going to kill the thing, and it drops you right where you came in. Right? So it's like it's pretty good in that regard. But it's not like the greatest of layouts. And I feel like just for some reason I feel like mob density on that, or like just the amount of mobs that get put on that spawn in that map aren't very like isn't up to par. Like it for sure isn't anywhere near as many as spawn on beach. Like I can just tell from the gold. I always get way less gold overall when I run calderas. But I like Caldera because it's a relatively straightforward path. Doesn't really have a lot of side pockets. To be honest, has very few of them. Uh, whatchamacallit, the pathways are very small, so it's very good for stuff like volcanic fissure, snaking, and eviscerate. Actually, to be fair, it's really good for most of the builds I'd like to play anyway. So, like, it's really just not that bad. But for some reason, it just feels off when it comes to the number of mobs that spawn on it. And then I think the tier 17 map on it isn't that good. Yeah, it's Ziggurat. Well, it's a good map, actually, but it's not like the easy one, right? Like it's not Fortress. Sheesh. Oh, nice. We can kill the boss, and then we go clear the rest of the map and hope for. What? Oh, minus 55%. I forgot about that. That one's like doable. It's just kind of rippy, and for whatever reason, like it didn't spawn the shaper dude like on the boss because he would definitely be dead if he was on the boss where he's supposed to be, but he's not there. Question mark. Because that's the dude that's doing at least like every other time I've seen him spawn, he's on the boss. Just in case. Yeah, I forgot about the fizz reduction. Oh my god. I don't even know when I clicked on the portal because I'm pretty sure I clicked here. And then my dude just goes to the portal. Continues, like completely ignores the rest of my clicking. Like, no, you clicked the portal with it. I should have emptied my inventory. I don't really have like, a lot of anything. But yeah, I just want a fortress map. Like it's just unfortunate that the only fortress map can, or like the only map that drops fortress connected to beach is this one. I honestly borderline am assuming that the reason they didn't want to do, well, I'm pretty sure they were trying to make scarcity for Ubers, which is why they didn't put the tier 17s on the Atlas. I think, to be honest, in the long run, they're probably going to end up just putting the tier 17s on the Atlas so people could set them as favored. Or they could simply, well, I don't know if they could, like, because I don't know how they have it coded. I feel like, honestly, the easiest way to do it would have just been to put tier 17s on the map, but then just be like, these can't be favored. And then people could be like, well, why? And then they could just be like, because it's scarcity. Artificial scarcity. You're welcome. Because at least that's how I interpret it for how they want it done because of the shards, the Uber stuff. Like in my opinion, they should have just made it where the Uber drops were like the Uber shard, the Uber fragments were just really low drop chance, and then just added it and just let people run it. Because I feel like the tier 17s have like I think part of the reason that people really don't like them is due to the fact of their scarcity. Like obviously when they introduced them, they were extremely overtuned due to an oopsies. But I think another part that people get kind of annoyed is because it's like in order to do tier 17 strats, you kind of have to go out of your way to buy tier 17s, which means you have to go trade tier 17s because I don't feel like you I don't think you can get tier 17s from a tier 17, right? Like you can get like I can get beach from running beach, or I can get Ashen Woods from running beach, or I can get right. I don't know if tier 17s drop themselves, and for some weird reason they don't want self sufficiency with it, like you can with tier 16s. Like tier 16s, all you really need is like your two void stones and a good number of your a good number of your favored slots unlocked, right? Like I mean, I'm completely self sufficient. Like I can literally just ping pong between two maps, and I don't even have like I'm missing three of them, right? Because I haven't done Maven, like Elder Shaper, and then the Feared. But hmm, I don't know. Like they wanted to do this weird like artificial scarcity thing with them. The reason I call it artificial is because they decided to go out of their way to not just attach it to the system they already have in place, right? From tier ones through 16. And it's and like I feel like because like the first time they were talking about it, if like from my understanding, it was just like, well, we want people to like they wanted to make them like rarer or at least like less available than they were before because of the fact that it was like it kind of made the regular invitations invalidated because you just wouldn't have you just wouldn't have a reason to run the normal invitations, but there was no different way of farming it, right? Like you could just farm for normal invitations and then just respec a couple points on your Atlas tree and they're Ubers now all of a sudden. Like to be honest, that change makes sense to me. Like having the Uber fragments makes sense versus just being able to take a couple things on your Atlas and call it good. Like I'm not really critiquing that, but they wanted to heavily reduce, I guess. At least that's how it felt like it when they were explaining it. They're just like, we want less of this into the like in the poll. Realistically, well, ironically enough, the only reason it's kind of like that is because, well, this league, I think it's not like that big of a deal because of the fact that they fixed the tier 17, so there's at least it feels to me like there's a shit ton of builds that can run it now. Is this really the only rare beach map? No, these are just normal. So, all right, this is gonna be the last batch we fizzle for a while since we're not running Searing Exarch altars for a minute, and then after that it'll be well, I'm also gonna spec out of the rarity one too. Oh, I didn't mean I just now have a random like. I have 2 refund points. I've done it. That shows you how many times I've accidentally clicked that button. Like I've accidentally clicked my orbs of regret. Hmm. I'm still debating just taking this out, right? But the 30% increase evasion and armor is pretty nice, and the 35% increase fizz damage is nice. I've also been debating taking like these 2 points out. So let's put us at 340. And we have more than enough strength to have everything equipped. And then I could get like an extra 1% attack speed with some damage and then still get a jewel socket, right? That's useful. Oh, I'll worry about it later. Alright, beach is gonna be fun because we just speed to the boss, kill the boss, come back, get the altars. This one actually might have the highest chance, I guess, to give us ungles because we can stack the stuff. Nice. The only problem with the beach is that like it's kind of wide enough that I have to like move back and forth for the loot. AKA the gold. Yeah, see, this is the one I can't take. If it didn't have that, we could have taken that, gotten some more. But since we use endurance charges, if we take that, we wouldn't be able to regen anything. But as soon as we get that one out of the way, it's pretty much just be real estate all the way down. Because I think that's one of the ones that won't like respawn or get reoffered. And the nice thing is, as long as I don't die, I can usually save on portal scrolls. Kind of nice. I mean, I could just run all the way back and get it again. But I really want to be try hard about it, which I kind of do. Oh, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. If there's one thing I've learned about playing PoE is when you start lagging, you just keep your character moving. Gives you the highest chance of surviving. It's like all I know. And you just pray that the server keeps up. You don't attack, you don't do anything. You don't do anything that will stop your character, right? No, 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 no. I was just trying to go back to get that one. To be honest, we filled it up enough. It's fine. I'd rather get that altar than We got the 5 rewards, that's good enough. I guess because it's Onyx like an Instrumentus. That's why it's. I was about to ask like why does the Carnage Heart get lit up, and then I realized it's because base type the Instrumentus. I feel like for like I don't know if they can split it right, but I feel like for gold it wouldn't be like that big of a deal to make it you can pick up gold from a further distance. Yeah, aside from the endurance charge one, this build doesn't really give a shit about any of the other stuff. Which technically, like in some people's book, would make this build better than the Eviscerate one, because the Eviscerate one runs a lot better on the oh my, kind of figured that was gonna happen. Honestly, like I saw that. I was like, that lag, I'm dead. I might like I should have saved the Versium for last because I have the physical damage reduction. It's a bit of a problem because it's like, is it? I think it tells us in here somewhere now. Uh, oh no, I guess it doesn't. I thought it would tell us like where like our total was that because we have the minus 51% bit of a problem. But this is a nice thing when you don't have to worry about the map boss alters is don't like the player alter, then just take a different one. Or just yeah, just take the Eldritch one. Because for the most part, the Eldritch ones are pretty much usually pretty free. Like for giving the Eldritch minion things. Yeah, we're just gonna run these and then we'll just go back to running the old stuff so that way we can at least be getting more scarabs and scouting reports and stuff like that again. Because at first I felt like, oh, maybe we have a decent shot at it because of we did get the void battery that one time, right? I was like, oh shit, void battery. Good. Pretty good. I was like, oh, maybe we can get the ungles pretty quick doing this. Maybe even a heat shiver or something. I don't think it's worth, personally. On paper, I feel like it would be worth. Oh, by the way, there's a comprehensive T. On paper, I feel like it could be worth because it's like, oh well, less loot. It's kind of like the you know non-ruthless word like version where a lot less loot but should be more meaningful slash impactful kind of thing. So, but to be honest, like I'm saying the same names I generally say more often than not. I have gotten like slightly more right. Like I got the bringer of rain or whatever it's called and stuff like that. I was about to say the Magnate, and then I remembered I got that from Nameless here, and I'm pretty sure he does not give a shit about your rarity. Like I'm like 99% sure he just does not care. Lions. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that drop before. Oh hey. Oh, Beach is welcoming me home. Beach is like, we've heard you've been having a rough time with the comprehensives. We got you. Gives me 2-in-1 map. I appreciate you, Beach. Like coming back home. Honestly, I still feel like Breach doesn't spawn mobs fast enough. I mean, but I had a pretty good go at scouting reports this time. I don't know, maybe it's just because I was running it on the wrong map. Maybe I should have just waited until I came back to Beach to run it. Because I feel like being able to run it with being able to ignore everything and then just having the alters that you can get your quant and rarity like much higher than I could just running it in the other maps because it would be bloated by the boss stuff. I don't know. We got 2 comprehensive scouting reports out of it though. That's really good in my book. Doom Seller? Is that worth anything? It's tier 3. Worth dust. Increase area of effect. Increased fizz damage. Not increase attack speed. 5% of physical as extra fire damage per socketed red gem. I don't really think that's very good. You have Vol Pact while all socketed gems are red. I'm trying to think of what's like Molten Strike, I guess, but there's like a lot better. Yeah, that doesn't seem pretty. Where's 26,000 though? Oh, that's not bad. I'll take it. Much longer until the boats come back. 5 minutes. Should be able to run at least another map. Oh, actually, let's see if we can get Doriani's Machinary. Realistically, I don't even technically need to be running it because I could always just be trying to. I don't remember them being like extremely expensive. One for 26. Like it's not like the cheapest, but well, I think they're a little more expensive than the last time I bought them. I think last time I was buying them they were for 20 when I bought like 5 of them, or like one for 22. I don't think they were 26 yet at the time. So I remember buying I think like 5 of them. I definitely don't remember spending 130 chaos doing so. Oh my goodness, why did you jump to that? Hello, please. Yes, proper. Even worth the dust. I have minus 15 to all max res. Explain. Minus 15% max res while they have like 150% extra fizz is cold. I feel like I should get like something with a Riku. Man, beach just feels so good to run. Mob density, amount of mobs on the map just naturally feel good. Uh, whatchamacallit? Um, linearity is nice, but I don't feel like that's like super integral, right? Like I wouldn't mind like running Caldera, for instance, if it wasn't for the fact that it kind of just feels worse than uh than running Beach, just because like on a bad map for Beach with this strat, I think I get on average like 10,000 gold. On a good run, I'll get like with stuff like this, right? With this when you have the orbs, or if you get a lot of the packs, uh probably like 12,000. But with Caldera on a bad run, with like clearing the map, right, with getting it sub 50 mobs remaining, I feel like it was fuck is hitting the thing. Uh I feel like I was getting, well, not feel, I was getting like 8,000 on like a bad run. Instead, I was getting almost like 2,000 less comparatively, which made me feel that it was just not spawning as many of either the rares or the magic packs as the other ones was, just because I feel the reason it was like that was specifically because of the fact that it has like 2 extra guaranteed uniques. But then I think about like how Glacier has like all this uniques at the end. But sometimes the way they balance things is kind of weird, where in one sense they'll like change something, but then something else will have that kind of similar style, and then they won't do anything to it. Because like Glacier is, I think, still considered like one of the best maps too. I think it's like Beach and Glacier if you don't have all of the void stones, right? So you can just run whatever you want at tier 16. Like it's kind of just there. Glacier I know for sure because tight grouping, uh plus plus all the uniques at the end allows for some scarab shenanigans. Not particularly. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting thing I've like realized over the years of playing PoE. They have a not very uniform way of handling things. Because for all intents and purposes, those the goats are uniques. It's just I don't think they drop like any real loot if you're not like juicing them. While you can get, I think they drop pretty decent loot ish for the Caldera unique ones, because I've definitely gotten uniques off of them. It's just not as good though. Yeah, I think this strat's a lot better when I run like this. I might just keep running it like this, actually. Because once we get a couple of the quantity alters going, we get pretty good, right? Because we're at like 66%. Usually we'd have, well, usually we'd have more than that. Like we'd have like 130 something percent if I was running this one. But I feel like it's good enough to kind of offset it. Because we're definitely getting a lot more uniques per run. Also, I have to go back anyway, so I may as well just grab extra shit. Extra uniques to toss into Rog. So it's definitely better to run it on this sort of like mapping run. Because we're getting a lot more items just in general. Compared to running it on the like terrace and stuff like that, just because I mean, to be fair, I could have done the same thing on terrace, I just didn't. That's more of a skill issue, really, more than anything. Like this is a coward's trial. Let me see how many of those we have now. We have 3. We have one at tier 7, which I got from I think my mappers, and then we've got 2 more. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it wasn't 4, but compared to how long it took me to get that, with I've gotten like 3 in the past like week. That's so annoying. Uh, so that's not really fine. I'm still kind of sad, but it's okay. That's just how PoE be. Yeah. I was trying to see if there was like some weird off chance that I had just stashed it and just forgotten. No Daisuke. No Daisuke. Okay, my air conditioner finally turned on, so we're gonna. Can't feel. The worst part about where I have my computer is, I mean, I guess I could try to move it. It's just the amount of stuff I'd have to move to go put it on the other area. Kind of more than I want to do. Also out of laziness, really. There's another spot that's kind of decent. Well, actually, no. The biggest reason I don't want to move it over there is because I'd put it next to the door. Like I'd put it like next to the door to the staircase that I go up. But at the base of the staircase is the door, and people tend to go in and out of that door fairly often during the week, and that would be a problem because generally the mic doesn't really pick it up. Being on this side of the room, but there's no way like it won't be heard. And then I'll be able to hear like what goes on in the kitchen, and it'll distract me, and then it'll annoy me because it'll distract me. So it really can only be in like this corner that I have it in. But the problem is that like that puts me right underneath the air conditioning unit, which to be fair isn't that good. We got that out. Right, and I think when I consume the altar, it puts it back in the pool. I don't really know how the altars work 100%. But which means that like the AC will make me feel colder than it might actually be in my room. And then, I'll go over to the bed and then I'll be like, oh wait. But like right now, since the cold air just shoots right on top of my arms, uh I can't, like, my fingers are like half numb. I can feel them, but they're like half numb. Not the best thing. I like boxed myself in on accident. I teleported into like the side of the orichalcum altar. On the orbs of you. Because I need a 6 link this skill. I don't know what I'll put in for the 6 link. Yeah. I don't really want to put melee fizz. Because that'll just slow it down even more. It's already kind of slow to begin with. The attack speed. Are they so big? Yeah, once you get like, yeah, unfortunately having that first altar be the one that has had the endurance charge ones on it was kind of bad because once you get like a little bit of quantity on from the eater altars, it just feels a lot better because it just starts dropping like a bunch of stuff. But yeah, no, after this we'll go back to just running the regular stuff. Oh, there's no more monsters on the map, but they're all dead. I don't know, I can't really like complain too much about it, but I feel like it would probably be slightly better if it was half, right? like, well, I don't know, but I feel like maybe it could be like modifiers of quantity to items found in your maps, or like 50%. 50% of modifiers to quantity of items found in your map instead apply to rarity of items found in your maps at like 150% of their value. Stuff like that. But I don't know, we tried it. I'll just copy and leave my hopes up to the nameless here to get it, or maybe I'll just drop. Well, realistically, I should get like a low item level unique and then just ancient orbit until it gives me what I need. Probably the best way to handle that. Let's just take this. That's really the only thing that's like pretty good. I mean, I could also try taking that, but I don't feel like it. All right, we're just gonna run my Cortex maps. Well, not my Cortex maps, but my synth maps. Maybe I'll run Cortex. Maybe not. I haven't really decided. But we have like four of them to run. We technically have like two. Like, pretty sure these are. Wait, no, are these the? Oh yeah, see, those are altered. These are rewritten. I think these are. Yeah, these are the Cortex ones, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Oh no, they're all just different synth maps. Wait, where's the Cortex invitation? Oh, these ones. The ones that say Cortex Mellow. Grab everything then. Yeah, the item level 83 ones are Cortex. We'll run the 5 and then we'll grab the other ones. I don't want to have like that stuff taking up space. Leave this in here for now and then go drop it off at Rogs. Ooh, Essence. That could be pretty juicy. Essence and quality. This is like the synth map I dislike because it's like just little nooks and crannies just everywhere that don't connect together. It gets really annoying. That'll be fun. For sure, most of what's in here is bad. Yeah, this one's really nice for re-upping on like cartographer chisels and stuff like that. I would like for there to be a modifier that's just just drop rate of like unique accessory items. I forgot to dump the gold so we see how much we get. You get a lot for running synth maps. Cortex, I think, by and large, drops a lot. Like the actual Cortex map. Like it's highly recommended to kill all the mobs in there rather than just rush to the boss because of how much gold drops in there. I wonder how long. Like I have a feeling they're going to like do this. I'm just curious, like how long until they kind of take metamorph, right? And then they tweak it and potentially bring it back. I feel like metamorph wasn't like the worst. I think just implementation for stuff might have been a little off. Only thing left is the. It's definitely a lot more damage than it was before. That used to take me a lot longer to kill. A lot longer. Getting the enchant with uh with the ring definitely increased the damage. Um, oh. Hmm. I don't know if that one's actually used. It increases our mana efficiency, but like I don't really have the sockets to be able to put another uh like another aura in, right? Because if I did, I would just use Flesh and Stone for the damage reduction. I mean, I guess I could drop War Banner. I rarely remember to fucking drop that. Even though it's a pretty good button to push. But I constantly forget to like press it. There's a higher chance that I'll remember to press the flask than there is that I'll remember to press War Banner. I've done it a couple times. Like I could have done it there and it would have sped up the kill a lot faster. But I forgot. I also forgot to put money in. Wait, let's just see how much of it. All right, it's at we'll say 65. Oh, this is like the good layout. Oh wait, no, never mind. That confused it for a different one. There's one that I think is based off of City Square. That's really good. Is it this one? %2 chance to drop shape right. Can I get another like shaper shield? What are these Beybladers doing? Jeez Louise. I'm trying to beat them up and they're just doing Beyblades past me. You know, I do find it kind of weird that running a synthesized map doesn't really give you synthesized loot until you kill the boss. Like, I'm assuming it's probably like a roll that you can get, right? But I just like, I find it weird, personally. Like, the same way, you know, I expect to find. Because I think you have like a higher chance of getting like Elder Shaper, you know, those kind of like the influenced gear, like even just from the regular mobs while running those maps than you do on running than you do running okay. Than you do like, you know, getting something synthesized off of a synthesis map. I think technically I've heard heist, I think people have said is like the best way to. I don't remember. Was it for heist? There's something I remember like I was watching a video for where they were talking about like bases and I was just like, yeah, you can run heist for them. I was just like, oh, it's not bad. Like, I say. Oh, an amethyst, right? Yeah, I turned on my tincture for that. No, why is it? I mean, I guess I don't think that's like bad though, because you get a whopping what 59% chaos resistance. Well, affected by Herald of Agony. I think we used that on the other one. I don't think that's like bad. I just would have preferred more damage. We're definitely getting a lot of cartographer chisels from this now. Didn't get as much gold from that expecting. Because we were at like we got a little well, we got less than like 10,000. Because we were at like 64,700, right? And we were at like 74,000 and some change. Also, I'm like half tempted. There's a build that someone did for they did wild strikes of the extreme, right? But they did it with chaos inoculation because there's an enchant that you can put on a mace that gives you makes it so that you can use the ability like you melees aren't cancelled by not having enough HP. Something like that. Because like with the wild strikes of the extreme, right? It takes HP, energy shield, and mana to be able to swing it. But if you do chaos inoculation, you only have one HP, so you have nowhere near enough HP uh to cast the ability. But with that enchant, even though you have to use a mace, you can or mace or scepter, you can use chaos inoculation and do like a trickster setup, which I think you'd have to run trickster anyway if you wanted to do it. And it allows you to run it with CI, which was kind of interesting. The guy like he did the build based around int stacking, and he just int stacked. He had a I think it was a synthesized Kuri scepter that gave elemental. I think it was like lightning damage per intelligence, which was pretty interesting. We kind of just beat around this one. I might try running the cortex to see how that goes. I mean, I say this, but we haven't gotten another Vortex invitation. Yeah, see, this is what if this. Well, because I don't know how much the Agony Crawler actually does, but like if the increased buff effect was with the crawler, it'd probably be like way better. But I don't actually know how much damage the crawler deals. Oh, fossils. Right. Fossils and 25% chance for currency item. I forget which one's worth. Like which there's a couple of fossils. I think there's like one or two fossils that are worth a good amount of chaos. I don't know. I think something that's like kind of interesting that may have been like overseen because it's like what you may call it. They were kind of concerned. Like I kind of understand the concerns that DGG had with like allowing for like an automated transaction place for trade, which I think for items is probably not the best of ideas. As much as I say this as someone who like honestly, if I could just look for Ungle, right, like the that I could just look for the necklace I need, would have been done like forever ago. But through the currency exchange would have been done. Like I still don't really mind the fact that items aren't available on there. I've seen a couple people complaining about it. I feel like that could be left alone because it's so complicated with so many moving parts. Like the only thing I would wish for would be like there'd be a way in game to look at like what's available without having to like open a browser. Which I mean, arguably you could say that would be one step into letting it be automated, but it's just that it's so like it's not like one size fits all, right? Like if you like you could be following a build and the build could be like, oh, you want a chest piece with like high chaos resistance or like high yeah like high chaos resistance and high this other stuff, but then it doesn't take it can't take into account if you have like say rings or stuff that have really high chaos resistance but really low other resistances, and it's just like I feel like it's way more effort than what it needs to be, and I would just rather they instead of adding items they just add like figure out a way to let us like trade maps and stuff like that instead. But I can kind of understand their trepidation in adding stuff something like that early on because the only real context for it I feel was oh shit hold on Like MMOs, like MMOs are kind of like the only thing that really have a like an auction house, right? I don't really, and well, there was the Diablo 3 debacle, but to be honest, part of the problem with that was less it existed and more because they were trying to like incorporate real money with it, which then made them decide to reduce the drops of legendaries and stuff to the ground. So, that kind of had its own problems. It wasn't really because of the auction house. There was a lot of other issues, but I think they were mostly looking at the more than, oh, there it is. I was like, I vaguely remember having fun. But I think the part they forget is the currency in this game for trading, at least, is consumable. Because there's going to be people that are going to be trading for getting, divine orbs, not to buy another item, but to craft with, right? Which then means those get removed from the market, which then get replaced by people that generate more. Another fossil. It kind of just makes into this loop where I don't really think it's that big of an issue because the things get consumed, right? Like in MMOs, you can kind of argue that it's the same way, but it's not to the same degree, I feel. Because WoW's not like the only MMO, and neither is 14. There's definitely a lot of other player-based ones to look at, and nowadays they have a system of like the equipment, right, is like bind on equipment for the most part. But the problem is that the gold, right, the gold that's being used, like the currency that's being used to trade for that, never has a chance to leave the system because it's not consumable unless you go to a vendor and then give the money to a vendor. But the issue is, in most of those games, in most MMOs in general, there's no real reason to spend in-game currency on a vendor because the loot from a vendor is pretty shit. Consumables are generally you buy them from players, you buy weapons, from a player that got a bind on equip item, players that craft flasks, players that craft food, players that it comes from the players. So the issue is that you have an influx of gold, right? But you don't have like an outflow of gold. And that's like the actual problem with oh, they applied poison. Those Beyblade dudes are hitting me and like stacking up so much poison in one go. It's mildly painful. But and that kind of doesn't really work for PoE because the currency in PoE, like I mean the issue would have been if gold could be used, right, to buy things, which they didn't do that, which was really smart on their part. They took the, which in a way I applaud them for taking the time to do this because I feel like they really took a step back and kind of like just studied how like the trade works and like how like the way it's done, and you know they somewhat limit trade because gold, which to be fair only really affects the more casual players. uh People that are running tier 17s like don't give a shit. They run like a couple tier 17s and they're pretty set to do as much trading as they want to do, which that's a different sort of argument. I wouldn't really say that's an issue with the system in regards to like the trading, but more how they're handling tier 17 loot drops. Which, to be honest, in my opinion, I don't think tier 17s should be nerfed. I think it just proves that tier 16s should probably be bumped up a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Or at least like bring some of the, I don't, yeah, no, they should just buff some of the loot that you can get from tier 16s a little bit more. I feel like the base floor that you can do. But I think they realized that, oh hey, it's probably not going to be that big of a problem considering the fact that the currency that's getting exchanged is consumable, right? Like people will spend a shit ton of divines to buy all the Uber fragments. What's going to happen to those Uber fragments? They're going to get consumed. Like, they don't really make very good flipping things because as people, as the league continues, those get cheaper because more people will farm tier 17s and stuff like that. And I don't feel like there's a lot of consumables that like get more expensive. I think there's some that retain their value, but well, I mean, to some degree, right? Power runes went up in price, but that was less because of uh it was more because people realized what you could do with them rather than most other things. I feel like if people, because what was it? We knew what enchants were available, but we didn't know what we would use for the enchants until it dropped. And then there was a lot of like at face value, these are worth a lot, but there was a couple like the haunted ones. I think was well the haunted one for sure. I'm thinking was the direct uh initial burst, and then there was also the returning proj. I think we also didn't know what weapons had what, right? Like I don't think we knew that returning projectiles was on a two-handed sword, and that takes power runes. But there's just a lot of power runes that were like a lot of things that were really good wanted power runes, and that led to the increase in price astronomically. But I'd say for the most part, everything else got pretty cheaper. Like it's one of the bigger reasons I don't sell a bunch of my stuff. Though part of that is also due to the fact of the shipment. Other Agony has increased buff effect and reservation. Oh, that was global critical strike chance instead of crit strike multiplier. That would have been so good. Womp womp. Because if it was crit strike chance, I could use it on the. It was more than likely a good ring for. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Probably would have been a really good use on the with the hyper strike of the Mamba. But yeah, so like the trading is or like the automation is on consumables, and even then, like items to some degree, I feel is really where probably that would cause issues a bit, or it'd be a little harder to like deal with flipping and probably the price fixing and stuff like that. Since you know, there's been some people that have been trying to price fix some things, and I think it's just slightly difficult because what tends to happen is some people will get caught up in it, but then usually the prices even back out because most people won't. Like what was I think there was one attempt with a scarab, didn't work, and then I think there was like another quasi attempt when I was looking up the divination scarab of plenty, which is almost unilaterally considered shit. Uh, the which to be fair, I think it might be bugged because I feel like having a pack of mobs with 800% chance to drop a divination card and like you can kill all of them and they don't drop shit, I think it might just be bugged. But they tried to price fix like the scarabs to bring them up in price to try to get people to bulk buy it, and it like kinda pseudo spiked and then it just went right back down because it was just like, oh wait, it was price fixer. But when I tried to look up for the divination scarabs of plenty, there was a guy who wrote up this like post. It wasn't as like insane as the original one, where he was talking about how they were getting like uniques out of everything and blah 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 and this and that, and kind of tantalizing people with reminding them of the unique showers of like 2 seasons, like 2 leagues ago, right? The Wildwood League shower, like unique showers that people would do. Which, to be fair, people just stopped and thinked and like at least looked into. I have a feeling that the people that got caught in that were just people that just don't magic find at all. And I think we're just looking for a way to, well, a way to get into magic find, because they're like, oh, that's a scare we can do. But I feel like anybody who actually does magic find would have already been like, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure those are the guys that were just like, yeah, no, that's a load of shit. Because like when I first saw the post, I was like, that's, well, I mean, by the time I saw it, it was already kind of over with. But when I read the post, I was like, yeah, it's not a good thing. And when I saw the date of when it was posted, like I would have already known, because the people I watch that have been trying Magic Find would have debunked it, because most of the Magic Find right now is pretty much solo. So, the very fact that he's the claim of having a party when pretty much every single known content creator for uh party Magic Find had basically stopped for the league because it was so bad. I think would have already, you know, if you even take half the time to look at those or like their content and stuff, you would have already known that that was bogus. But then the guy tried to do it for the plenty, what's it called again? This one, yeah, the divination scribe of plenty. Like, I honestly think this one's just like bugged, or it could just be that it's because it's 3 additional pack of magic monsters. Like, but I've tried this. I tried running, like I ran 20 maps with this, and I would kill the packs. Which, first of all, it's really weird because you kill the pack that has this, and then it summons like a pack of cards that you can't kill that just float above you and just shoot a bunch of chaos damage down. Never did I ever see like divination cards drop from them, right? Like this was like way more. This was just better in every regard. Like, and it was so weird because you would have this, and I would watch other people do it, right? Whereas you'd have this, you get 8 to 12, you know, 3, 8 to 12, 3, 8 to 12 makes no sense. And then it has a 1% additional chance to drop a stacked deck. And I was watching like MP's like video that he did later on about it, where he had, I think he walked out of a map with like 100 stacked decks. Like it was insane. And it was just like, that's why I feel like this one might be bugged, but maybe not. Maybe it's just I don't really understand the values for div cards, because I usually get a bunch of them to drop depending on the div card. Like, I mean, where is it? In the time I ran, I got 20 of these. In the time I ran, call it Residence, which to be fair, I feel like was a pretty good. I didn't get an Imus, but I still think that was pretty good. I already traded in most of those, so, but I think I got like another bunch of those too. Like I don't know, it's just, but there was almost a lynch mob though for that second dude. Like half the comments were like, ban his ass. The mods were like, no, no, you can't just ban everybody, but you know, asking for proof is what you should do, because he had like no proof. He showed nothing. Didn't have any graphs. Didn't have any like videos or anything. I think the divination of plenty is like a scarab that we want to be good, but unfortunately, it's just not good. It's one of those cases I feel where the numbers make it seem like it'd be pretty decent of a scarab to just toss into your to toss into like a cheap strat run just to try to get some divination cards while you're just running stuff, or maybe you're just trying to run some maps to build up the actual maps you want, stuff like that. But I guess for some weird reason the numbers don't pan out. I just find it really weird that a pack of mobs that has 800% chance to drop a divination card you can kill and won't drop a pack, I guess, like any divination cards at all. Like it's kind of weird, but is what it is, I guess. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if like next league they're just like, oh, by the way, we fixed that. That was, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's just working as intended and it's just bad. I would say I still find it mildly interesting what they did with the Veiled Orb, the Veiled Chaos Orb. They made it rarer to get and made it extremely expensive to chase. To be fair, as someone who I know a lot of people weren't too happy about it, as someone who probably would never have used it even prior. Well, I probably would have used it if it was still the Aisling one. Because you could make some pretty good mid-tier weapons with it. But it kind of brought down, I would say, the like what some people would consider mid-tier, because a lot of times I would see like nowadays it's you basically want to roll as perfect as a weapon as you can before uh before using the Veiled Orb, the Veiled Chaos Orb, in an attempt to get the unveil you want. But before, like even on mid level stuff, I was seeing people be like, you just you build it, you get like tier 3 stuff, and then you just slam the Veiled or the Aisling Orb on it and get what you need, and then you have a good weapon until you want to try to roll your perfect one, kind of deal. I don't know, I kind of just don't really have an opinion on it. I will say I still see some people complaining about the removal of sextants, but as someone who looked into sextants and then went, no, I'm good, because it took more effort to keep reading than I wanted to put in for my mapping, and just went back to mapping like normal. So obviously less efficiency. Uh, the change to scarabs is really nice, right? The removal of the sextant stuff for scarabs, I like it personally. Kind of my personal opinion on it. Increased max life, 15% chance to avoid being shocked. There we go. This one's pretty good. It's got some pretty generic stats. Could help for. It'd be nice if that was like 15% chance to avoid ailments, right? Like elemental ailments. That could help with like ailment immunity, but we'll take it. But it's got the crawler buff and then the damage and then the Herald of Agony buff effect. I feel like that one's pretty good. This one's also not bad. It's just I think this one, like I think you could use these in conjunction. Realistically, what you probably want is you probably want one like oh actually this one is mana. Yeah, this one's probably pretty decent because chaos resistance is nice to have. But I don't really think it does much for the builds we're thinking of because that we go chaos, right? We go CI for that one. So you're immune to chaos damage. You just don't care. To be fair, I don't actually know if that one uses if that build even uses Herald of Agony. I know it uses Alchemist Mark for the puddle. I wish there was a way to make the Fisher travel faster. Like if that makes sense. I don't know if that scales. No, I saw it and I was like, maybe. I held my breath a little bit, and then it was just another fucking Fury Val, which I've gotten like 3 of. So I guess I can check to see if it's better than the one I have, and then just toss it in the thing. Well, at least it's a turquoise amulet. You know what? I can't complain. After it being so long since we've gotten a turquoise amulet unique, I'll at least be thankful that one dropped. And at least it'll be worth a decent amount of dust. Harbinger. Oh, currency, sure. Similar, but not quite. I think there's one that is like for scarabs, which would be nice to get. That was one that I used early on, or that I had gotten early on that was really good for getting a pretty nice little influx of scarabs. Want to buy being able to favor synthesized map. Want to buy being able to favorite synth map. Oh, there we go. Synthesized iron ring. It actually has a chance of being something nutty. No. It's garbage. Increased physical damage reduction while affected by Herald of Purity. Why would I give a shit about that on my Herald of Purity, bro? Ain't nobody gonna care about that. Herald of Purity is for damage. I wanted that, put on determination. You want to make sense. And shambles. All right. Last little map. And then we call it for the night. And bulls. Yeah, we saved the one that I hate the most for last. Like the layout, I mean. Splinters is good. All that gold. Actually, to be honest, like with how many splinters I've been getting over time, I should probably have enough. I definitely know I have like 2 reach downs. At least worth it. I looked the ambusher one. A little weird to me, but it's the one. Let me in. Here to take all your shit. It almost looked like there was a way to get through there, but should have known better. You know, you're gold. I guess the pack is like somewhere. It might just be spread out with 19 of them. Like a couple here, a couple there. Easy to like run that. Nice. Oh, chance to run it back. This ring potentially has a chance to be better than this. We just got this thing. This one would have been good too. Would have been usable because it would have had fire resistance. But it just rolled the same shit as the other one. Ugh, gross. Oh, that could have been so good. How much armor would that go so we could crit? That would have been fucking amazing, bro. It would have given us so like another 2,000 armor. We could wear this. Uh it's not the best at all because it's just like 8% fire resistance. Could have been way better. And it's increased lightning damage, could have been increased fire or physical. Both would have worked. But like because I think you want technically the one you want would be increased physical damage, and then I think like increased buff effect. I think are the two that can roll with that. Oh well. Pretty good run though. Pretty reach downs. We have a lot of invitations, Cortex invitations. So I'll probably do tomorrow, see if we get anything good from that. Oh, we basically have like one of each except for Chayu though. I think Ash is the one that I kind of want to farm because of the necklace. If we get that necklace, I'd probably just do Ephemeral Edge Trickster. Where's the harvest stuff? And for doubling. We're gonna keep all the Harbinger ones. I think probably yeah, I think I'll just use them later. Uh, is the Wisp one selling? I've seen a couple strats for that. I don't know that changed the price for that. 18. Yeah, 14. 20.5. Sheesh. 280 chaos. Just like that. What was it? 3K chaos. You probably have a couple other scarabs in here that are worth something. I want to do it now while I have like all this gold, so I don't have to worry about it later. All right, I wanted to check the Wisp one, see if that one was worth anything. 8 to 1 isn't bad. Like 10 to 1. How many of these did I have? I had 27. I don't ever plan on using them. Uh, those are going for 6.3. We got 13. Only like 78. Pass on that. That one's crashed a bit. But we have this one and containment. Both of which should be worth a decent amount. The Wisp one, I was not too surprised that one went up in price because of not adaptation. Because of the fact that I've been seeing a couple strats using it recently. I don't feel like number crunch for that one. $190, bro. I'll put it up for 200. 1 to 5. Anything. You could probably sell this for a decent margin. Not really. Well, we'll see if anybody bites on that one. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the night stream. I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'm tired. Uh, tomorrow will probably be there'll be more 15 during the day. I might sprinkle in some Star Rail, maybe Friday night. If I don't do it Friday night, then I'll probably do it some. I might try to fit it in over the weekend or Monday. To get the try to get the new character. But thank you everybody for watching. If you have, I'll see ya. Bye bye.